The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Red and gold on the edge of the sky, feel the rumble, hear the battle cry. Out in Ames where the storms ignite, we don't back down, we rise and fight. Jack Tri-State's name, yeah, it echoes strong. A story of honor still marches on. Through the rain, through the pain, through the fire we roar, 'cause we were built to thrive in the eye of the storm. Feel the ground shake, hear the crowd roar. Cyclone power, can't take no more. Legends rise, this is our norm. We stand tall in the sigh of the storm. There's a cyclone blowing on the outskirts tonight. Jack Trice shakes when the team takes flight. Milton's rocking, hear the magic call. We rise together, we'll never fall.
Back to In the Side of the Storm, where we talk all things Cyclones. We are live from the AKC Marketing Studio with Andrew Downs and sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company out of Osceola, Iowa, and Iowa Beef Steakhouse, Naked Dave Spices, and Style by JJ Boutique. I'm Dave Larson here with my Storm Team partners and Cyclone Grazed Mr. Vintage Brent Big Play Curvey. How are you, Brent?
You know, I'm here, alive and well. Can't complain.
You look good. And we have the
Appreciate
legend, the traveling legend, Marcus Pfizer. Good evening, Marcus.
Good evening, fellas. Tired.
The traveling legend.
Can you share with us what is going on? Like, we just before we hopped on, we heard this great story about you and the aliens out in the desert.
I don't know how great of a story it is, but
You're on your way up to Idaho and you run across the aliens the size of moose is all I
no,
caught.
I should have been going towards. I should have been going down the highway to the extraterrestrial highway, but I missed my turn and put at least a good 2.5 hours on my travel. It was brutal, man. I've made this trip. We made this trip at least 6 or 7 times now, to where you don't really have to use a GPS. You know, the kids were unruly in the back, and I just completely spaced it out and just missed my exit, and that was brutal. But I'm here. Glad to be here.
Well, Brent and I are back in Iowa enjoying tropical weather. What do
I
we
saw
have,
that.
Brent? Low 60s today?
Man, we was in shorts and t-shirts today. That don't happen in February,
No.
so we taking advantage.
I felt
It's
good.
been awesome.
I felt good.
It was a good weekend. It was a good weekend all around. Men win, women win. Dave got to go out and run in shorts and a hat. That was nice. So let's start things off with the men. Played a game yesterday, really avenged. Before we really start in the talking about the game, Brent or Marcus, shall we show this clip or this photo of you dunking against Kansas at home?
Easy work.
And Blake Buchanan tried to emulate that himself on Saturday. So the Cyclone men come out and avenge that loss just a month ago at KU at Fog Allen, this time winning at home against the Jayhawks. And really a low scoring first half, but then the Cyclones picked it up, turned some defense into offense once again. And again, came off that loss against TCU earlier in the week. Both men and women lost on Tuesday night, played exact same 8 o'clock tip. Iowa State wins 74-56. Takeaways from Saturday's game.
Well, I knew we were going to come out and definitely want to revenge that game that we lost down in KU. I didn't know that it was going to be that much of a blowout, but definitely welcome that. Anytime we can beat those guys in that fashion is always a great thing. So, lots of fun.
And I don't know why the screen is doing what it's doing, so we'll just keep on.
It's the aliens. It's the aliens. You should have spoke them up.
This is what happens when you have me. Yeah, it's the aliens, Marcus. Thank you very much. We told you that they'd come back and get us. One of the things that I think that I was there at the game and very fortunate. I had some just absolutely fantastic seats there. This is the pregame,
Nice.
and you could see it was jam packed. I mean, I think that there was a little bit of apathy over the weekend or from the last home game, the student section, someone had taken a photograph of the upper section of Hilton Coliseum where there was fewer students. And as you can see by this pregame shot, it was packed. I mean, they fit as many bodies as you can get in there. I don't know how it came across on television, but it was loud. It was obnoxious. The crowd was really into it for the entirety of the game. It was really a lot of fun to be a part of. And one of the surprises that I took away, Paul Shirley was in attendance. Your Paul Shirley, Marcus. And we've heard from him before. He doesn't really watch any NCAA basketball now that he's done playing. He just doesn't go. And he was in the crowd on Saturday against the Jayhawks in Hilton Coliseum. I took that a little bit of a surprise.
I wonder if he had his eyes closed since he don't watch it anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of the things too that I found, Milan Momcilovic continues to grow in terms of just his aura, his mythology within the Iowa State program. He started off slow, but then just got red hot in the second half and just was lighting it up. That's where you see you saw the highlights all weekend long of him on that fadeaway 3-point shot as time expired. He had another outstanding performance on Saturday against Kansas with 18 points. Thoughts after watching Milan Momcilovic on Saturday?
Credit Marcus. FYI, just make sure you mark.
That's
a good call out, Brett. Yes.
When he took that dribble, and I said, you better make that shit. I tell my kids all the time, hey, if you go off on some weird tangent, he better succeed at doing it. And I just knew just the way that the game was flowing and everything like that, he was feeling it. And it was such a crazy angle. But, when you're a shooter and you're making shots like that, you're never really off balance as long as, like, your base. As long as you getting your elevation from a correct base. A fadeaway really isn't a fadeaway, anything like that. You really know where you're shooting it from. And as soon as he let it go, you can see the angle of everything, and it went in. I was like, man, you better make that because I know TJ probably wouldn't have gave him that much of the players probably would have gave him more hell than TJ would have if he would have missed it. But if it was a close game and he pulled something like that and didn't make it, man, it would have been hell to pay.
You got to come sit by me, young fella.
He still is continuing to shoot over 50% on the season. He's now, I checked this afternoon, he's 51.6% from three. That is absolutely incredible. I mean, can he do it? Can he reach that 50% threshold for the season?
Oh, he's been doing it.
Five games left in the regular season.
Oh, yeah. He's hot, man. He'll ride it. I think he'll make it happen.
I tell you what, that stock is on the rocket ship right now because that's going to make him some money, more than the money he's making now. But that's going to make him some money with that kind of heater that he got in his fingertips. That's really and his size and height and everything. Oh, absolutely.
being that close, usually my seats are up, so I don't have a chance. And this is just one of those games where I'm like fourth row, right in the middle of court. It's astonishing to see how big these guys are and how athletic they are. I remember, there were guys when I was in college, and Big Vic, Victor Alexander was
Mhm.
6'9", and he was probably pushing 3, but he was big, but he was big, right? And he looked more like a lineman that that Brent would be going against on the offensive side. He was built that way, but he was so athletic and so fluid. And all the guys now, they're slim, they're pretty trim. You can tell that they watch what they eat. You can tell that fitness is very important to them, and they have a very regimented program within the basketball program that extends 12 months a year now. That it's astonishing to see how big these guys are, and yet they're still remaining so athletic.
Yeah, the thing for me, it's kind of being that size and that height. For us, it really isn't anything different. I know I hear them all the time say, for a guy that height, he can do. It's like it's just a sport. If you a
Yeah.
certain height or if you shorter, if you still have the talent, you have the talent. Like Wemby is no surprise to me if he has that talent. You have people that are his height that, they dribble the ball 1 to 2 times running down the court, and it's that way, and they're still going that way. So if you have the talent, you have the talent. It's really no difference to us that are hoopers and us that are athletes. But to be around all of us, football players too, because you got football players that's 6'8", 7 foot plus, and huge individuals. We don't seem like we're big to each other. It's only when we're around, other fans or around other people where it seems, you see the difference. I saw President Obama being interviewed by Reggie Miller today, and Reggie's 6'7", and Reggie's 6'7", and Rock is so much shorter than him, and it seems like if you look at him around normal people, he seems so tall, but when someone's like Reggie, 6'6", 6'7", standing next to him, it's like glaringly different. Yeah.
Well, and I think as fans watching on TV, the perspective is awkward because you look on the court and a guy that's 6'7" is standing next to a guy that's 6'8", 6'9", and they're all big.
Mm-hmm.
Where a mortal like me at 6'3", I feel tiny next to those guys.
Yeah. So say like
when I played,
I think Russell Westbrook is like 6'3", Steph Curry. And those guys that are considered like smaller guards. When you got point guards that are 6'6", Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 6'6". Those are big guards.
And Brent, how tall are you? I remember like
6 even.
You're 6 even. Like in my mind, watching you play, you're like 5'10". But standing next to you today, you feel like you're 6'3". I mean, I feel like you're 6'3". I feel like because you're still tall. I think you're you're the same height as you were when you played, obviously. But you're a big human being that dominated on the defensive line. That it's hard to get that perspective on size watching on a television screen.
Yeah, TV does. It really does just, man. So when I played arena ball, we went to Orlando, and the Lakers were practicing in the facility like next door. So we're going in, and we see the Lakers coming out. So Phil Jackson walking real slow, but he's tall as shit. Andrew Bynum, this dude's like, God damn. Like you see him on TV, the perspective is different. But in person, it's like, well, shit, like they're all giants. But TV doesn't know justice. But when like people are around each other, they all look the same, right, in terms of height and size and build and all of that. But then you single them out and get up close, you're like, whoa, it's a little different. It's a little different. So.
But that's probably a little bit why you were so successful too, just with leverage, right? I mean, if they're hauling out 6'3", 325-pound linemen, you have the agility because you were like a cat. You could just move in and out and it felt like you had that leverage on the defensive side.
Yeah, naturally. When you're shorter than guys and low man wins type of deal, that's always it, right? I got a lower center of gravity, and guys are 6'5", 6'6", it's harder for you to bend. It's just what it is. So I get to kind of beat you to the punch that way. But yep.
Well, we have a new sponsor, and it's We Will Collective, We Will Pizza specifically. Tim Kreisman and Kreisman Foods have signed on with Three Beards Media. And so I wanted to give a shout out for a We Will Pizza Performance of the Week or Performer of the Week. And for me, I was sitting there thinking about this even yesterday and last night, that Milan Momcilovic rose to the top for me only because he started slow and just got hot. And when he got hot, that turned up everything in Hilton Coliseum. It just, everyone just seemed to ride on Milan, and you could feel the crowd got energized. Now, during the game, I'm sitting there thinking, well, Demarion Bateman, like, he's coming in and just he's candid that outside shot for the Pioneer logo. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
Man.
I did see that.
I like that kid gets in the game, and like I said before, his mentality is so Mike Nurse, like Mike Nurse Jr. Like, as soon as he gets in the game, you don't even get the chance to see him put it up. If you see him running back from the ball going in the nets already, I'm like, this kid already done made a shot, and he got no fear at all. And that's how I want Milan to shoot. Just shoot, as soon as you get it, just shoot it. When you got that shooting ability, man, put it up there on the rim. Let us get the opportunity if you're going to miss, but that equalizer is so dynamic, shoot it. I promise you, every time Bateman gets in the game, I never see his first shot. I just hear the commentators talking about it. I said, well, he already hit one. Let's get the roll. Every single time. I've never seen his first shot go in.
Brent, you were saying? You saw it as well.
I didn't see anything. Nope. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Then also I was thinking of Dominicus Plata. He came in, he gave a lot of good minutes Saturday against Kansas. He only had 5 rebounds and 2 points, but he was just active offensively, defensively, tipping balls, going for rebounds. He was really battling and fighting, and that was one thing that really impressed me, that here's a guy that has been learning to play at a different level, Big 12 basketball, and continues to grow in what he's able to do. And we're starting to see the fruits of some of his labors and some of his success. And he's really been impressive in the last couple of weeks for me. But ultimately, We Will Pizza Performer of the Week, Milan Momcilovic. So Chris Shipley, if you can get Milan a We Will Pizza, maybe that's what we should do. Give out We Will Pizza.
I mean, I'm sure they give you some.
That's crickets. That's crickets.
I try. I will try it. WeWillCollective.com. We Will Pizza.
Yeah. Well, if I can make a recommendation, my favorite's their bacon cheeseburger, but they have a really good breakfast pizza as well. And
nice.
I think Chris is coming out there, next week, Marcus, to Vegas? Is that?
I think
you should throw a few extra in this. 20th?
The 20th something, he said. We have to check the chat.
All right. So maybe he can bring some out for you, and they've got gluten-free. So find them at your local Hy-Vee. I'm sure they've got them at other outlets as well. We Will Pizza. So speaking of Milan, he is now in, let's see, I had a note here. He has made 98 threes, which is ranked 4th in school history. He's, I think, 1 behind Naz Mitrou-Long, 2 behind Mike Nurse. And then Dedrick Willoughby leads with 102 threes in a season. So Mike Nurse, strong likelihood, Marcus, that Milan's going to pass your former teammate this season.
Hey, records are meant to be broken. As long as it helps us keep winning. Hey, when in doubt, shoot. Otherwise, shoot.
He is doing just that. Cyclones now stand at 22-3 on the season, 9-3 in conference. I don't really want to bring up that TCU loss, because if anything, that loss is probably, I'm hoping that it's redirected this team and creates that necessary focus, because here we are. I mean, we've talked about it all season long, that pre-conference season was sort of that warm-up act, and then you go up another level. Well, this is that third level, right? This is, for all intents and purposes, this is the elite part of the schedule. All the tough, I won't say all, but primarily these are all the tough games. This is what we've been waiting for. We had wanted it to be spread out, but that's just not how the schedule broke. And so here it is. The playoffs really has begun. And so we've got, let's see, Monday night, just tomorrow night, home game against Houston. That's going to be huge, obviously. At BYU on Saturday, then come back Tuesday at Utah, Saturday the 28th at home against Texas Tech. And it sounds like you guys are going to be watching that at Marcus's place. And then the Monday night game at number 1 Arizona. So thoughts on, and I think there's an Arizona State game in there at the end of the season too, on the Saturday after Arizona. So thoughts on what the schedule looks like. So I'm counting 6 games left, 2 of those at home, 3 of those at home. Where do you guys expect the season to play out here on out?
Man, I'm not even going to try.
You have to. This is what we talked about. You don't walk away from that.
This Big 12, this Big 12 is crazy. We just seen the number 1 team in the nation lose 2 in a row, including one at home. Like, it's just, we know Texas Tech has always been a tough team the last couple of years, this year as well. But it's like, man, Utah got one win, but you can go into Utah and they shoot lights out. You never know what you're gonna get in this league, and it's crazy to even fathom. Thinking about the losses that we had. Kansas wasn't ranked at the time. I think it's the Kansas we just beat was the first team that we beat that's been ranked since December or something. I think December 10th or something they said. Because Kansas wasn't ranked at the time, and then Cincinnati, and then we lost to TCU. So we hadn't played anybody else that were ranked until Kansas just came in, and we mollywopped them. But this conference is just so tough. It's hard to even say or want to predict, because you can run into some teams that you think we should bow out and we lose the game to.
All right, I'm going to ask the person that will give me insight. Brent. Marcus is like stepping away. He doesn't want to give anything.
Marcus is talking like he's speaking like a true basketball. Like, hey, look,
he's like a politician.
I mean, but to be fair, it is. I mean, that's the one thing about college basketball, man. You at home, all it takes is one dude to get hot, then the momentum train is over with. So it's tough to say, man. Just for, shits and giggles, obviously we win ours at home, at least 3 games. So I'll say 2 out of the 3. I don't know which ones, but I'll say 2 out of the 3. So 5-1 on 6 games straight.
We still have a chance at the conference title, believe it or not. So I went in and looked at schedules of who plays who. We would have to win out. I think that's pretty safe to say if we want to be able to win the regular season conference championship. So obviously Houston is going to be a huge game on Monday. Upcoming games that are going to be very important will be Texas Tech on the 28th, Arizona obviously on the 2nd. Those are the 3 really big games for us. They're all going to be important. And I saw that BYU lost their star player with an ACL injury. So they've been hobbling the last 2 or 3 weeks. They've really struggled. So hear me out now. Houston, we'll assume that their second conference loss is against Iowa State, and let's assume that they lose a home game against Arizona on the following Saturday, the 21st. So this is really a big week for them as well, with us in Arizona. Now, they also go to Kansas in a big Monday game, and we've seen what Kansas can do on a big Monday. They just beat Arizona at home. They've won 40 consecutive big Monday games. under Bill Self.
That's
So,
weird.
you know,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's paid off. So somebody get paid off. 40?
They don't put bad teams on Big Monday. So what Kansas is doing, that's a pretty remarkable statistic, 40 consecutive.
Charge me up, bro.
Well, hello, Alexis. So Houston, there's a scenario where they lose 2 of those 3, if not potentially lose 3 consecutive. Because so I'm looking at us, Arizona on Saturday, and then that KU Big Monday on the 23rd. So this is their season. These next 3 games for Houston. Arizona, let's talk about them. So let's assume that they lose to Iowa State on March 2nd. That gives them their 3rd loss. They also play Kansas on Saturday the 28th. So they play the Saturday before they play us on Big Monday. So
At home,
yeah.
they're not gonna lose that game to Kansas.
Yeah.
So there is a scenario there.
There's always a scenario, but they're not gonna lose that game to Kansas.
Okay, but if
and then we might get them piping hot and go down there, and we've seen some crazy things happen from half court.
Yeah.
I'm a realist, Dave. I just
Right.
right? You know,
usually I'm the negative Nancy, and here you are. Well,
I sat down in front of the TV against TCU, and my wife said, "What'd you think?" I said, "I'm nervous." Look what happened. It just happens in this league. And they've lost 2 in a row.
now, if they lose to Iowa State and Iowa State wins out, Iowa State will have the head-to-head. Now, I think the Big 12, they go based on record. I don't know that they look at head-to-head, but if they do, we would have
Overall
a head-to-head matchup against Arizona, assuming that we lose and we don't lose any other conference games. We'll both have 3 losses at the very least. So there is an opportunity there. Now, Kansas, let's talk about them. We want them to win out, but probably them losing to Houston on the 23rd might be of a benefit. So then they would have 4 losses. And the reason I say that is if there's a tie situation between Kansas and Arizona, or in Kansas and Iowa State, we would both have the wins against one another on our home court. If anything, Kansas would have +2 because they beat us by 21. We beat them by 18, 19. So they might have a leg up there in the Big 12 official standings when it comes to conference.
The other day, I thought we beat them by 24.
I think it was 18.
I thought I saw ESPN says 24, like the largest deficit we've beaten them since like 76.
It was 74-56, so that's 18 point, and we lost to them by 21 in the Fog. So that's where that would be. Then Texas Tech, they're still in the mix, but we do play them coming up on the 28th in Ames. So assuming that we would win, then that would put them at 4 losses. So there's a pathway there, believe it or not, for Iowa State to be able to secure their first regular season conference championship in quite some time. I think since, the 50s in the Rolling Rocket.
Wait, what?
Well, what?
Since the 50s.
But didn't we win one with the Rolling Rocket? Isn't that the year that we played Wilt Chamberlain back in the old Armory days?
Right, but you said that
long before our time. I mean, it was the 40s.
You saying since the last time Iowa State won the conference?
Yeah. Now I know we've won tournaments.
I won a conference too.
I don't know. Surely we've won a Big 12. Maybe like a Big 6 or something, wasn't it?
Over here.
Oh,
it was a little while ago.
Wait, you drove all that way with a puppy too?
No, the puppy's at home. No, I was trying to get your attention. But we won Big 12 Big 12 conference and the tournament outright, sir.
Oh, that's what you're referring to.
Yes, sir.
I forget about you, Marcus. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. You know, 25 years
2000
ago.
That's right. You guys won. You guys did win both, didn't you?
It's like, damn, Dave, is it your memory going? What's going on here?
It's old man. I maybe I should be on old man strength now.
Over
man,
here.
strength.
Hey.
I'm blaming on I cracked open a new Revelton, the single barrel bourbon.
Oh, okay.
Small beer?
No, it's single barrel whiskey bourbon.
Yeah.
That's my prize of the weekend. That's
I
my
mean,
Valentine's gift to myself.
You had some straight shots?
No, I mixed it this time. It's not showing,
Yeah.
I know.
But we
And
were,
then, so for those of you that are watching and listening and screaming, "Oh, the 2000 team." So
Yeah.
Monday night is also, not only is it Big Monday, but it's also golden rules or wear gold or whatever that day is. Brent, don't you think that we have to bring back the gold uniforms for Monday night?
Shit,
okay, because you got a gold hat. You want to, you know.
He's after the gold stuff, ain't he?
Now, admittedly
Oh, no.
so. Admittedly so, the new uniforms may pop a little bit different. You know, they're a lot different than the Russell uniforms. We're dealing with Nike now. You know, we're dealing with sports science where, you know, it's, you know, a jersey probably costs $400 now. So
Russell
maybe
had
a
that
little-
extra shine that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
oh, man.
You got the little silk.
No,
Little
what
silk
you got,
to 'em.
bro?
Yeah.
And then-
it was-
And then
That was
the Big 12 tournament had those rolling basketballs that were like this crazy old leather.
oh,
Man, as soon as it touched the jersey, it was over with. It was over.
So what? The conference tournament, they use a different ball than what you
They
were used to
use-
during the regular season?
Yes.
Really?
Like I hadn't seen a Rawlings basketball. I hated that ball. I had no idea why that was the ball that they used down there. We used like Wilson, Solution, the Evolution, and stuff like that. Those sticky tacky type balls. You get down in the Big
Mhm.
12 tournament, it was a totally different ball. Then they went to Nike and all that different stuff. But yeah, it was definitely a different ball. I remember my junior year going out against Baylor, just thinking, man, these balls are terrible. And you know, when I set a tournament record in points, but that's neither here nor there. Life evolves.
So it worked out well for you then.
Worked out well.
I mean, you guys won the tournament.
Yeah, they pissed me off because they thought we weren't going to win the tournament.
Hey, speaking of tournament, have you guys seen? I'm going to try to flip this over. Have you guys seen the new court that was the Big 12 conference had put out there for this season's tournament?
Oh, with the LED stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
right, can you see that?
Until I actually see it, you know, being played on, things like this really don't do much for me because it's like, I mean, we live in a time where AI and stuff is so crazy now, but you know, it may look terrible like the NBA did for the All-Star break. When was that? Was that last year or the year before? I think it was the year
Last
before.
year.
It was
Last year they had those color courts and all of that, right? Wasn't that the same?
This got to be the same thing then.
Right. I
Yeah.
finally have it pulled up there. So this was on their Twitter page. What, Monday, Tuesday of this week?
That is-
Now, I think it would be pretty cool when Iowa State scores or something that
That's what I was about
in
to say.
the
Yeah.
middle of that LED court, that there would be some sort of tornado that would follow the team down. I think that would be pretty cool.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
just about to say it'd be cool that when the team scored, you throw their logo
Mhm.
up and it helps everybody understand who scored. Or
Right.
like, you know, if it's a tip ball and it's going to review, they announce who it is and that pops up. That'd be real cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about
You
the
can get super creative.
Follow-
Possession stuff. That'd be
Right.
dope.
So could you also put your statistics down on the, you know how like for those watching at home, you can see all the graphics and statistics. Could you do that on the court too, do you think?
I mean, if it's LED, you can possibly do it, but I'm sure FanDuel and the rest of those betting apps don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it feels like there would be a lot more marketing opportunities too. I
I'm
think
sure. I'm sure they
bring
go.
out ads.
I'm sure we're not going to see as much of them. I'm sure during the commercials and timeouts, that thing's going to be lit up with different Hertz rental car, and it's going to be crazy stuff. If they don't, that would be a waste of money of putting that court down there.
Yep.
You're talking about millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little juicy wiggle down on the court. So, hey, let's, I can't believe we're already 30 minutes in. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. Hear a word from our sponsors. We'll come back on the other side. I want to talk a little women's basketball. I was up there for their game today, too. And we've got some other tidbits that I want to talk through with you guys. So,
cool.
Let's hear from Revelton.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest: Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside, and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations: Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with, a meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for: balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, where Iowa comes for steak, done right. Welcome back to Cooking with Billy and Willie. We're already in progress because great cooking doesn't wait. Today, we're turning things up with Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces.
You know, this chicken and the beef here and all this stuff is fantastic. It tastes fantastic with this Naked Dave stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, this barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the commercial for Naked Daves. That's why we're like pretend like we're naked. We pretend like we're naked, and then we eat, and it'll be a good commercial.
It will be, for sure.
Hey, why are you really naked? You didn't have to be all the way naked. We were pretend.
It's supposed to, I wanted it to be like realistic, you know, like Daniel Day-Lewis or something.
Well, one thing you can keep the chair after this. Where's the director?
What's the problem? What is your guys' problem? It's fine.
What? Why's he naked?
I told him we were doing a naked commercial at your house.
This is like the worst porno flick ever.
It's Naked Dave. Look at Dave.
It really is good.
If you want bold flavor that doesn't hold back, try Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces. Find it at your local Hy-Vee grocery store. Ask your grocer to carry it, or order online today at www.littlewolffoods.com. And remember, Naked Dave's, you don't have to be naked to use it.
We gotta look into that naked director.
Let's clean it up now with Julia Bradshaw.
Gentlemen, let's be honest. Finding the perfect gift for your wife or girlfriend isn't always easy. You want something thoughtful, stylish, and unique, and that's exactly what you'll find at Styled by JJ Boutique. Julia Bradshaw and her team strive to be your go-to boutique for casual, boho, and chic clothing and accessories, helping women elevate their style one piece at a time. Located right here in Johnston, Iowa, Styled by JJ brings trendy, high-quality fashion that boosts confidence without breaking the bank. So, if you're looking for a gift that says, I get you, instead of I tried, head to Styled by JJ Boutique, because nothing makes her smile like feeling beautiful. Styled by JJ Boutique, where style meets confidence. Visit our Johnston location or shop online at styledbyjjboutique.com.
There we go. So now would be a great time to get some of that Naked Dave seasoning, because with our 60-degree weather, it's supposed to be nice all week long. I grilled out this evening, and I got to say, I'm probably going to be grilling the rest of the week. What about you, Brent?
Grilled out. So I need to understand what you mean by grill. I smoke.
Smoke, I guess, where you're outside cooking, like, right?
No, it's different. But I'm
okay.
Listening.
See,
you got one of those flame joints. You cut it on, and the flame gets to go in there for you, huh?
Hey, chill out, man. Chill out, man. Chill out.
I've got
all of us not barbecuing, smoking pros now. Hey, all of us got to get the propane going as long as they heat it up.
Hey, you know what? Brent cooked me up for Thanksgiving, and he does a fabulous job.
Well, I appreciate that. Yes, honestly, my smoke has been in the garage all. I haven't thought about it really.
Ooh, time to get it out.
I might have to whip it out. I just don't like to smoke one or two things. So if I do it, I gotta smoke enough so I don't have to smoke for a little while. You know what I mean? But part of the game, I guess.
Smoke enough. I'll come over and grab some. Shipley will come over and grab some. We'll ship some out. We'll put it in dry ice and send some to Marcus. You're good to go.
It is. Yeah, it is.
All right, so women played today. I was up in Ames back to back. It was a busy weekend. I think wrestling was tonight. It was after the women's game. So women beat Kansas State 76-72. Like the men I mentioned before, they were coming off a loss on Tuesday, losing at BYU. And the women really needed this particular game because they were neck and neck with Kansas State in the Big 12 standings. Team shot incredibly well from free throw line, 25 of 28, and that's an area that the team has really struggled this season. Marcus, have you been working with the women's team on making those free throws, or is this something that the coaching staff has been working on?
Nah, the coaching staff got to get on that. They just got to focus up, make the free throws, stop being too anxious. We know, coming off of a loss, you really want to do the things that you got to do to win the ball game. And sometimes it's just a little nerves, but, getting up there, knocking them down. Go to you have them right as always.
Well, and I'm hoping that we can start our Addie Brown watch. She's been out for the last month and a half with that back injury. And I think we were all sort of hoping and speculating that there was a world where she could return. Like to see her back with 2 or 3 games left in the Big 12 season. Well, I think they are down to 2 home games and I think 3 on the road. So it's starting to be that time where if Addie's going to come back, now it's probably about we're getting there. Women now are 20-6 on the season, 8-6 in conference play. So they're in that upper tiers where you want to be for the Big 12 tournament. And they've got some important games coming up. Audie Crooks is in 4th place in all-time scoring. We talked a couple of weeks ago about reaching that 2,000-point plateau, and she's now closing in on Bridget Carlton for 3rd place at 2,142 points. And in 2nd place is Angie Welly at 2,149. So she could probably get those two in a game or two by herself. So I think that first place, Ashley Jones has 3,060 points. I think that's not going to happen next year, only because Ashley had that COVID season, so she played the additional year. But still, Audie Crooks she has a chance to continue her record-setting pace and getting pretty close to Ashley and that number one spot. But looks like going to 3-2 is inevitable for Audie Crooks. So believe it or not, the women, and we've talked about this before, and what Coach Fennelly has done with this program, but the women have now won their 20th game for the 19th season under Coach Fennelly, and what he's been 30 years in Ames. That's quite the accomplishment.
Man, that's GOAT level right there.
Definitely the GOAT.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely the GOAT. I mean, he had that flounder, 19 out of 20. Who's counting?
All right, so I want to watch your faces on this next one. So there's been some speculation. Lawmakers are looking at different programs, as they normally do, of how to bring business into the state. All states do it. There's different tax incentives and financial packages, while lawmakers are looking at the possibility of bringing the Chicago Bears to Iowa. Gentlemen, what do you think of the Bettendorf Bears? And this is what their stadium would look like right along the banks of the Mississippi River.
I don't think it's going to happen.
And if it comes, it needs to come to Des Moines. If there was ever a team to come to Iowa, it should be in Des Moines.
Could they though?
I mean, that'd be great for sure.
For Chicago, wouldn't you just totally ruin the Chicago fan base? At least if it's,
at
least if it's on just right across the river in Bettendorf. I mean, you're going to still, Chicago, 2.5 hours from downtown?
I guess from Bettendorf, I guess, yeah. You're close.
That's a pretty sexy view, but I don't know. Chris Shipley probably will move right next door if that happens.
Yeah, it would.
So you guys are no on the Bettendorf Bears?
No,
I'm good.
They're not leaving Chicago.
Too much here,
man.
All right. Question for you both. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. Does it need fixed? If so, how do we fix it? This year they've gone to this USA versus the world. They've got 2 U.S. teams, a world team. Saw one of the U.S. team. Well, the U.S. teams played one another for the championship in this tournament event. Dunk contest is not what it once was. And it's not just the NBA, right? We've seen this with football in the Pro Bowl game. We've seen this in the Major League Baseball with their all-star team. It's just no one cares anymore. And you guys have really done a great job of helping me to understand that we're in a different era, right? As a kid, we grew up, that was a big deal to go to the all-star game, right? You played ball all summer, or at the end of your season, you had some sort of recognition where you had a chance to play in a special event for an all-star type of team. And it doesn't seem like there's any value to that anymore. Are we holding on to relics of the past, and do we just need to let go of this, or is there just still too much money left to be made?
It hurt my heart watching the dunk contest. Like,
so you did watch it?
I did see some of it because I'm like, let me see. Popped on for a second. I was like, this is not it, man. Just kind of the things that we've gotten so accustomed to, and the creativity is kind of repeating dunks, and they don't look as good as the original dunks. So I can't really get behind it. We grew up with some great dunkers, in NBA history, and they put on shows. They were real showmen, and a little different now, man. But yeah, I don't know. It's different now for me to watch and truly enjoy. And obviously, the All-Star game isn't as competitive as it once was, because everybody's and throw it ahead and get you a dunk, or big men shooting half-court shots and threes and stuff. It's like, only gets tight at the end, right when you got to score whatever the score is now. Even the gameplay has changed, so I'm indifferent about it.
So do you say continue as we have been, or do you think that it's time to change it, or even just get rid of it altogether?
Well, I mean, you can't get rid of it. I mean, that's the break for the players too. Yeah, that's the time for the guys to kind of, nurse yourself back to health. But I mean, you still gotta, the entertainers still, and people are still gonna show up. Festivals are always fun, so you can't get rid of it. I don't know how you change it to make it, any better. I think that'd be more of a Marcus question with me, but
Marcus?
Well, first of all, one of the things that people don't understand is that the All-Star break for the players is a total racket. It's so much going on. There's so many people everywhere. The players' hotel is literally like being in the center of a mosh pit or a concert. Like, it is so many people everywhere, and players just be bogged down by everything that's going on. There's so many different events that they've added now. Of course, All-Stars, Superstars, they have their sponsorships and their endorsements that want to tug and pull on them during that time of the session and stuff. And it's just so much going on to the point to where guys really don't get the chance to really rest. Back in the day, I guess in the early 80s or whatever, 90s, social media and technology wasn't around like it was. So if you didn't see the game on TV, maybe you would see highlights. But now people are able to watch it on their phones, they watch it on their iPads and different things. More opinions are coming out about it because you have instant access to it. And then it transformed from being watching the game to, wow, we got 1.5 billion people watching it. Let's throw this ad in their face. Let's throw that ad in their face because now it's about money. And then, when the players get smart and they understand, hey, we got to do a collective bargaining agreement to change this because now you're seeing all these people that's seeing the product and stuff that we're putting out, and you're making all this money. Now the salaries go higher, and now guys are thinking, well, I can't get injured, like messing around doing no BS. I want to be available for my team in order to, make the super max. Like, what is the super max? Super max is $300 million. Like, they was saying, like, Ed Edwards may be the first one to make $85 million per year. It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's what the money. It's just what the market is. You have lower tier players now where, guys used to go overseas and try to make more money and things like that. Well, you don't even have to leave the NBA or hang around the G League now because the money is so high. 2, 3, 4 million, 10 million is nothing. It's average for guys. So when you come down to the All-Star game, it's all about the money. It's all about, being positioned about how to make better endorsements or bigger endorsements. And it all runs in together to where, it's never really going to stop. You're not going to back off anything. You can't really add more. They tried a whole lot of different gimmicky things. The one thing that I liked the best was the couple years that they did the Elam Indian. In like the tournament, the TBT tournament thing that they do, where the Elam ending where it was more competitive because, you got to the end, whoever teams win, they won, I don't know, what is like $25,000 per player or something crazy. Right. Yeah, so guys, it was really, really competitive. Other than that, guys are letting guys dunk. We're not trying to hurt each other. It's nowhere as competitive as when Karl Malone and those guys were on the floor. So how do you fix it? I don't know if there's really a fix. It just is what it is at this point.
Do you get rid of it? Do you make it?
You can't get rid of it.
Have it? But
it's too much money to get rid of. They don't care if 10 billion people think it's the most boring thing ever in the world. If we made $10 billion, we don't give a damn about y'all 10 billion people that don't care about the product. These people that are feeding us this money is what they care about. The players are happy because now this affords us the route to pay them more money. And so it's going to continue to go that way, and they don't care. They definitely, man, if they get rid of it, the NBA probably will collapse that year because it's just.
Do you realize though? Do the players realize that hey, if this goes away, there's a revenue stream that goes away with it?
Yes, absolutely. So what did Marshall and Lynn say? I'm just here so I won't get fined. It's basically that type of approach, and there's different things that you do to have fun. I remember when they first started getting away from like the Players Association, they used to have this big party, but guys stopped going to that because it's like, no one really want to be here. So a lot of people on social media was talking about how high KD was or how high KD looked because he's probably been smoking all day because he wanted to go to this game and play in this game. But they're not going to get rid of it because it's just entirely too much money, and they understand that side. They understand that's a part of it, and it just is what it is.
Also in the NBA, thing that came up here that continues to come up is this whole load management, and I know we've talked about it. And there's also the whole tanking piece that teams are getting fined for not playing players that are healthy, and they suspect that the teams are tanking to get a higher draft pick. And I guess my question is should that even be a thing? There were reports at the trade deadline that the entire 2018 draft class, at least those that were in the lottery, have all been traded. Now, and with the money that's out there, with free agents and the ability to move teams, should tanking even be a thing at this point? Because you can dramatically change what your team looks like with one signing.
Right.
And the NFL, you can't do that, but the NBA, you can. You bring in, you can have one player that shifts the dynamics of that entire team, and you bring in complementary players, and you could have a completely different team from year to year. Should you really be, at this point, should teams look to tank as much as they are? And half the time you get players coming in from college and Europe and kids that are playing in France, and does it really matter anymore to tank? Evidently it is, because teams are doing that, but should they?
Well, it's a little different in the NFL because that player is probably typically a Tom Brady, who's gonna come around all the time, or Pat Mahomes, or that kind of Josh Allen. Those type of quarterbacks is always going to be mainly the quarterback, and there's not that many of them. There's more basketball players. If you're gonna fine me $500,000 to tank because I'm gonna get Wembanyama, I'm gonna take that five. And like I said, the owner probably took his Amex card and tossed it on the table. Go ahead and swipe that. We're gonna take the fine because the whole scheme is I think Oklahoma City owns their first round pick that's protecting the first 5 picks. Well, if you're gonna find me $500,000 and then we thinking, and that protects me to have my pick, and he keeps pushing the pick back because if it falls within the first top 5, I'm fine. I'm gonna keep doing it. So they're finding ways to circumvent the system. It is what it is. Money is how it is now, and it's so high. And how bad were the Spurs 3 seasons ago? How good are they looking now? So They got Wembanyama, they got Castle, they got some other players that have come in, and now they're playing dynamic. The money is so high, they get De'Aaron Fox, they get a couple other players, and now they're one of the contentions to win it all because they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 3 times this year. So hey, if it's going to give me a higher draft pick, possibly the number 1 overall, I'm gonna tank too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's different too. Like there's less players, so one dynamic basketball player clearly shifts the energy. One dynamic quarterback doesn't shift anything because now he has to have. Sorry, he shifts a little bit, but he won't shift the entire course of the season because he has to be protected. Keep a quarterback upright. You have to block for a dynamic running back. You got to find a way to get a receiver the ball. So that, it's just totally different. So, I'm taking that chop too. Like if I know who's sitting over there in the wings waiting to be picked up, let this one go and figure it out. That makes no sense. That's the only, you have to be able to compete. and that's how you compete. Like, you got to lose a little bit to gain a little bit. That's what it's about.
The Spurs had been thinking for 3 years seeing Wembanyama over there in France playing ball. They knew we were going to get this kid, and you see it happen. Tony Parker is over there working with the French national team. You think that he wasn't coming to the San Antonio Spurs? Yeah. Go ahead and make it happen, Captain. Get this $8 card. You might want to keep the numbers down in case you fire me again. It's the $500,000 to a billionaire. What is that? $5?
Their couch cushions.
Man,
I get it.
I get this.
But I think as a fan, here we are. We're dealing with NBA guys. Again, we grew up in a different era. We just talked about that, where the All-Star game, maybe not the game itself, but that weekend meant something. The dunk contest. Dominique Wilkins would go out there, and Michael Jordan and Spud Webb, and I'm probably missing some guys that would just give us a show. And then you got Larry Bird with the one finger salute, as he's shooting, and he's asking guys in the locker room, so which one of you are going to be second place?
But then you got to understand. You got to understand. Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb going out there performing, winning the dunk contest in Nikes or Converse or Adidas, getting their endorsement deals. We signed $1 million endorsement deal. You got guys got $250 million endorsement. So why do I got to go out there and do any of that? You have regular players who make an average per year more than Michael Jordan made damn near in his whole basketball playing salary career. Why would I do any of that? We come into the All-Star game. I'm not in the All-Star game. I may be a leaper and a dunker or whatever. I might do it once or twice and not do it at all. If I'm coming with my family, I want to enjoy the festivities. I don't want to be pulled around to do this and that and this. I got $250 million in the bank. If I want to quit the sport overall today, I can do it.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm asking. Like,
that's basically it.
What do they need to do? What does the NBA, what does pro sports need to do to make something that's appealing to the consumer, but yet also appealing to the athletes that keeps them safe? Because, and Brent, you made note of it, that's a week that guys are trying to rest up, and, that's some time that they're just trying to heal, because it's a long season. You're running up and down a court, you tweak ankles and knees and backs, and things happen throughout the course of the year, where back in the 80s, these guys were playing all 82 games. They didn't miss. And they made a lot less money, where now you're right. You're making hundreds of millions of dollars, and then you're playing a lot fewer games too. And I think it waters down the product a little bit from a consumer perspective. I still enjoy it, but I tell you what, I don't probably watch it as much as I know I don't watch it nearly as much as I used to, just because half the guys that you want to watch play, they don't play. And the team itself, if you miss one player as a fan of that team or a fan of the league, I want to see that team, because as a collective unit, that's what makes the sport so special. When you're missing a guy, whether it's injury or illness or wife's having a baby, whatever, the team's different.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, you got it.
Well, some of the dynamic of everything that people don't understand is not only the players, it's these owners as well. Man, listen, we got 1, 2, 3 guys that is making $1.5 billion collectively. Back we talking about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, collectively together, their contract probably was $45 million. It's just not the same. So if we're sitting in second or third place and we're in game 22, 23, 24 of the year, and I can rest you for a couple of days, I'm going to rest you for a couple of days because we might be playing, the Utah Jazz and, one of these rookies that's trying to learn how to play, you on the fast break might go up on you and, you break your neck. And now I still got to pay you $250 million. So it's the owners or I'm not, my back is a little tight. I always go ahead and rest you tonight. And just like the Jazz owner said, when they were fine, he was like, we were fine. We even went out and won the game. How do we get fined for that? Because we sat players and we still won the game. So it's all, it's all cat and mouse. It's all trying to circumvent the system to win. And if you're able to do it, I know it's a stain, it's a bad look. Adam Silver trying not to, because you hear the murmurs for the fans and everything like that. But we all know if it's us, and if I don't have to get up in the morning and go to work, and because I got the money in the bank, then why am I getting up going to work if I don't want to go to work? Like if I have the passion and the love to do it, but if my boss says, well, today I'm gonna arrest you because it's ice out there, we don't want you driving and you flip your car and something happened to you, I'm gonna stay in the bed and still collect the check.
That's it.
My boss doesn't tell me that.
If your boss told you that you'd be in front of this mic more than you'd be going into
Although there are times, in fairness, where we get icy and we do need to close, but it's pretty rare.
Right.
All right, guys. So big game tomorrow night. Where are you going to be? Will you all be home watching? It's an 8:00 tip. I don't know if you've looked, we've got some late games coming up. I think the BYU and Utah games are like 9:00 Central our time. I mean, Marcus, you'll be up watching it because it'll be your dinner hour. But for Brent and I, it's going to be awfully late.
Well, tomorrow I'll be driving back from Idaho, so
through Alienville, right? You'll be going by the aliens?
Spots here and there. I definitely will be going down that way on the way back. I know the way back. I know the way here. I just missed it, but I definitely will be going by them on the way back.
So big gray wolves and moose out there. Got to dodge them on the way back home.
I've dodged a few gray wolves.
Have you guys seen The Age of Disclosure? It's a documentary. I think it's on Prime.
Yes, you're right. I was like, where are we going with this, Dave?
Right, everything's going on in the nation right now.
Right.
What are we talking about?
Disclosure. No, this disclosure is about aliens, not something else. But if you're a fan, I mean, Marcus, especially with you being out there, like aliens are among us. Like they talk about how the planes can go from the air right into the water. And there's a reason for it, and why they go so fast. It's very interesting, and the documentary also talks about, like, this is one thing that maybe if it came out that we're not alone, it might unite the world versus divide it, because then it becomes the human race against the alien race.
I think the human race are so arrogant to think that in this vast universe that we're the only living species or intelligent species. We're probably the dumbest. They probably the deaf looking at TV like, these ones down here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with them. But I just, I saw President Obama speaking. I forget who he's speaking to or whatever. He said something about there's not any aliens in Area 51 and there's no underground bunker. And I said, well, they might not have no aliens, but there's damn sure underground bunker here. I mean, I personally know people in Vegas that family members work there. So it's out there. It's definitely out there. I don't know if there's any aliens in there or if there were, but there's definitely something going on. And I mean, until, there's direct proof yourself, then, I don't know what to go on with that, but there's definitely some activity going on out there.
Well, that's your homework for the week. Age of Disclosure. It's a documentary
what is it on?
Alien. It's on Prime.
Okay.
I believe it's on
Age
Prime.
of Disclosure. Okay.
I think I'm gonna go upstairs and watch it.
About an hour and 45 minutes or so. So, all right, big
You
game
might be
coming
watching. You trying up there and watch it tonight, Marcus. I don't know.
I probably catch about 25, 30 minutes of it. It'll watch me a little bit, then I'll probably run it back. But
yeah, watch about half. Watch first half, then watch second half in the morning. All right, again, Houston tomorrow night, Golden Rules game, 8:00 tip off, so a little bit later for those of us watching from home. Everybody, if you have a chance, get out and visit Brent out at Coach's Kolaches there in Urbandale. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Revelton Distilling Company. And again, have the single bourbon tonight, and as well as Iowa Beef Steakhouse and our studio sponsor, Andrew Downs and AKC Marketing. We appreciate Style by JJ Boutique and, of course, our friends at Naked Dave's. And we also want to welcome aboard We Will Pizza and Kreisman Foods. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time Inside the Storm. Go Cyclones.
Go State, baby.
When the team takes flight, Hilton's rocking, hear the magic call. We rise together, we'll never fall. There's a cyclone brewing on the outskirts tonight. Jack Trice shakes when the team takes flight.